Let us explore non-dual insights that transform consciousness. We're going to put this into the context of mindfulness and meditation. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we are wired to cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. But notice what? Notice mind's antics of perception. You know, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, smelling, and the like, such as emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. It won't take you very long, however, before you start recognizing that some of these things that we notice, we desire, and other things that we notice, we dread. This is the fundamental duality of Buddhism, or I should say, recognized by Buddhism. It won't take you very long, as you notice, to recognize that a feeling of resistance when it comes to the absence of an object of desire, or additional resistance in the presence of an object of dread. What are we to do with all these things that we've noticed? We meditate. And the most efficient way to meditate is this. Every time we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we are wired to automatically cooperate with the parasympathetic nervous system divided by the lower third, or I should say divided into the lower third and upper third of our spinal cord. This parasympathetic nervous system has evolved to support physical relaxation and mental release to the point that what we noticed during our inhalation, we can now let go of. And so not only do we let go of our perceptions, emotions, intentions, cognitions, recollections, and imaginings, but we had also let go of our desires and our dreads, and also our resistances to the absence of what we desire, and our resistance to the presence of what we dread. But what does letting go mean? Does it mean that our desires and our dreads disappear? Does it mean that that which we noticed disappeared? Does it mean our resistances disappear? No, no, and no. Well, then what does letting go mean? It means that these things that we notice, these things that we desire, these things that we dread, these things that we resist, this noticing, this desiring, this dreading, this resisting, controls our choices, utterances, and deeds less and less and less. That is the freedom that the Buddha offered. If someone tells you the freedom Buddha offered is freedom from desiring anything, they are grossly inaccurate. Evolution has wired us as a survival mechanism to dread things that are harmful to the survival of us as individuals, and consequently the survival of us as a species. It has wired us to desire things that are favorable for us as individuals and a species. It is baked into the cake, and if anyone tells you otherwise, they are sorely mistaken. So the Buddha gave us a path to cope, and to cope remarkably well. Now, let us discuss whether or not this is safe. After all, if we let go of our resistance to the presence of an object of dread, If some guy's coming at us with a baseball bat, or if a grizzly bear is roaring at us, should we just lie down and die and let ourselves be turned into a greasy spot on the concrete? So here's a wild thing. This is the Buddha's Eightfold Path. The key to the Buddha's Eightfold Path is the seventh fold, which is mindfulness, and the eighth fold, which is meditation. When we practice mindfulness and meditation at least once every 12 hours, the more we do that, the more we will notice that our choices and our utterances and our deeds flow from the effortless effort of love's centered spontaneity, which should not be confused with the scattered spontaneity we can experience after our fourth consecutive espresso, but rather the centered spontaneity. So, from centered spontaneity, we might choose something or say something or do something just in the moment as a way of dancing with the present moment. And so I've said all that to say this: it is safe to practice non-resistance. But what has that to do with non-duality? The Buddha's seventh enlightenment factor was balance. So how does that apply to mindfulness? Whatever comes up, we simply label it as this. Whether it is pleasurable or painful, whether it is abundant or scarce, whether it has to do with praise or scorn, whether it has to do with fame or anonymity. It's whatever we notice is this, whether it is external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. It has the same label, this. So what is the non-duality of meditation? Simple. We silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during each exhalation, regardless of what we just noticed, whether that which we noticed was a sight or a sound or a sensation or a flavor or a scent, whether that which we just noticed was an emotion or an intention or a thought or a memory or an imagining. Our response is identical. We release in harmony with our exhalation. So the universality of noticing and the universality of release is the pinnacle, the zenith, the high point of non-duality. And because of the effortless effort of love-centered spontaneity, it's safe. There are fables of Mahasiddhas who are hungry and told and offered, putrefying fish guts to eat, and told that if you are a master of non-duality, you will eat this poison. Well, no, that's stupid. If someone hands you a bucket of dog dew, what is your reaction from centered spontaneity? To recoil. That's a natural life-saving function. We did not evolve to thrive off of eating the waste products of carnivores. So practicing non-duality is not some weird thing where we lie to ourselves or we lie to others and say, well, I have no expectations. We always have expectations. We are expectation machines. We just be honest with ourselves. If we're feeling something glorious, we're honest about it. If we're feeling something grotesque, we're honest about it. If we're experiencing something interesting, we're honest about it. If we experience something boring, we're honest about it. This concludes the opening lesson. And now for the main practice. It is Luke Skywalker Friday mid-morning. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi. After approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So we come to the latest iteration of the Easy Meditation Sadhana. Please chant with me. Whatever comes, may all beings let it come. Whatever stays, may all beings let it stay. Whatever goes, may all beings let it go. Welcome to the first quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8 sets, and you've got 96 inhalations. We could count those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. To keep track of this, the first quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger upon the tip of our left little finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the bladder region of our lower abdomen. Yes, this could feel a little ungainly, perhaps a little overwhelming. Allow me to remind you of what you already know. Repetition is the mother of skill. No one was born knowing how to use the toilet, how to brush their teeth, how to tie their shoes, or how to ride a bike. Yet each of us mastered these skills by the time we entered first grade. Similarly, we can master the Buddha's path in as little as a week or two. By way of review, when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, it becomes easier to notice, which is also known as mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, it becomes easier to release, which is also known as meditation. And do remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. I check for questions approximately once every 8 to 15 minutes. Welcome to the second quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we can advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 12 sets, and you've got 144 inhalations. We could count those 12 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. We could keep track of our second quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing this gently invites our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Do remember that when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, our doing so facilitates our noticing, which is a synonym for mindfulness. Silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation facilitates the release, which is also known as meditation. Let's practice. Welcome to the third quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we can advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8, and you've got 96 inhalations. We could count our 8 sets upon our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. We can keep track of our third quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger. Upon the tip of our left middle finger, thumb palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the heart region of our chest. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, it facilitates our ability to notice, which is also known as mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, that facilitates the mental release, which is also known as meditation. Welcome to the fourth and final quarter of this mid-morning's mindful crease counting session, or meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we can advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 12 sets, and you've got 144 inhalations. We could count those 12 sets in our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sets of 12 inhalations each. We could keep track of our fourth quarter by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so gently invites our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. This process is known as mindfulness. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we wind up physically relaxing and mentally releasing what we noticed during our previous inhalation. This is known as meditation. Let's practice. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In about 3 hours, I would very much like to return to lead today's afternoon meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.